was shocked. I was hurt. Felt a lot of emotions. We watch it on TV, other places, but when it hits home, it really hits to the heart.
So it was a very mixed emotion and very challenging, very difficult experience to observe.
So in 2016, after the Keith Lamont Scott shooting, there was a lot of conversations around equity within the community and what did that mean, and the commitment that I made to the Board of County Commissioners at that time is that I really felt it was important that we look internally first, making sure that we have a full grasp of what we're doing internally and that the services that we provide are free of any kind of inherent bias so that we can say absolutely that we are providing our services without any kind of inequity.
Basically, racial equity is about closing the gaps so that we could improve outcomes for everyone, including all residents of our community, our workforce, or every employees in the workplace.
Equity really means meeting people where they are, and it's not about delivering the services in the same way every single time. It's about delivering services in the way that people can really receive them.
It means tearing down systems that prevent people from getting jobs or getting contracts or winning bids because of some implicit bias that might exist with the person who's making that decision.
At the core of racial equity is really justice and ensuring that the color of someone's skin and where they come from is not going to predict their outcomes in life.
And not everybody starts at the same starting line. So sometimes you have to do something to get people a little bit further ahead because they're not always, starting from the same point.
A lot of times government has to take on the role of being a leader where other private industry won't do that.
We provide services to people and we provide services to the most vulnerable people in our community in some cases, and so these are folks that need a tremendous amount of support, so we want to make sure that we are eliminating any barriers that may be in our processes that inhibit people from being able to take advantage of our services.
I think when it comes to racial equity, sometimes people have a scarcity mindset, which is to say that if and as others improve, that I might lose. And I think that's a fear-based mindset that I personally don't agree with. I think if one has the abundance mindset, the thought really is, and frankly, research shows that as some do better, as others do better, we all improve. And so I think that's a misconception that there have to be winners and losers.
I see our role as the Equity Core team as kind of twofold. One is the educational piece of letting people know what is racial equity, how do you use a racial equity toolkit, what does that even look like and what does that mean? And then the second piece, I think, really normalizing conversations. These issues aren't easy issues to talk about, and no one, anyone who tells you that is lying. They're really challenging, but I think the important part is that we do have these conversations and we realize how we can create a safe space.
We all sort of believe that, we don't come with biases to the table, but when you start to go through the training and start to see how inherent they can be in what we do, it is uncomfortable, and it does take a lot to be able to confront that and to be able to think differently.
Matters of race hit really close to home for me. Oftentimes people look at me and try and figure out, where am I from, what's my background. I grew up in a household with a white mom and black dad and really trying to struggle and figure out what that meant for me and my identity. And when we had conversations around race, where did I sit? What was my perspective supposed to be on those things? And so throughout, elementary, middle school, high school, even college, really struggling with that identity piece. And I think it's such an important conversation that we need to have.
It's awkward, but you have enough of them and you kind of get past the awkwardness, and let's just figure out what are some real solutions, or how can we talk with one another about difficult conversations.
people care about this. Our employees really care about this. So I think that they're going to benefit from having those kinds of conversations, but I think everybody's going to be much better off for it.
I think we're in a unique position to be able to make a difference and say that people who are promoted because of their job skills or because of their work ethic or some other reason other than because they're black or white or they're male or female or they're gay or straight.
If we do the work and the training for this, Mecklenburg County would just be a better place for us all, and that's our desire, for all of us to thrive.